Hello friend, this is me, your host. Welcome back to our channel. I hope you all are well and having a great day. So today I'm back with another video to give review on another books. If you guys wanted to buy any one of the best-selling books, you can visit our Amazon page and buy it from there. So today I'm back with another videos which these are the three videos which will we see today in this video. Three books with three of them are all about mind, body, and spirit. That how these books will help you to talk to someone, to control yourself, to how to think about other things in your life. So let's start with the first one which we're going to see today in this video is Are You Mad at Me by Meg Johnson. Introduction. Meg Johnson, Are You Mad at Me is merely a book. It's a mirror held up to the heart of every overthinker who has ever who has ever replayed a conversation 1,000 times, questioning whether a friend's silence meant anger, disappointment, or simply business. Disappointment or simply business. Through this deeply empathetic and beautifully written collection, Johnson explores the Johnson explores the emotional complexities of anxiety, communication, self-worth, and fragile human desire for connection. The title itself, Are You Mad at Me, serves as refrain throughout the book, echoing the endless loop of internal questioning that plagues so many who live with emotional hypersensitivity. It's a simple question that hides a world of vulnerability beneath it. And Meg Johnson masterfully unfolds that world one feeling at a time. Her writing is not didactic or clinical. Instead, it's intimate, poetic, and brutally honest. An introspective conversation between the author and her own anxious heart, one that readers instantly recognize as their own. understanding the theme, the anxiety of connection. At the core of Are You Mad at Me lies a universal human experience, the fear of losing connection. Johnson examines how fear, how that fear manifests in subtle ways. Hesitation before sending a text, guilt after asserting a boundary, over analyzing tone, replaying interactions, or apologizing for simply existing. For simply existing. She writes about the burden of emotional labor, especially as it relates to women and people pleasers who have been socialized, prioritized others' comfort over their own peace. This emotional balancing act between self expression and self suppression is explored with great compassion. Great compassion. Johnson does not criticize her own or her readers' tendencies to overthink. Instead, instead, she reframes them as proof of emotional depth. Each chapter, each reflection feels like peeling back another layer of a shared human condition, the longing to be understood and the exhaustion that comes from constantly trying to make sure everyone else is okay. The writing style, poetic honesty meets emotional intelligence. Meg Johnson's prose is lyrical yet accessible. She doesn't rely on flowery or abstract language. Her words are direct but graceful, conversational yet profound. Her tone feels like that of a close friend whispering truths you have always known but never found the courage to say aloud. The rhythm of her sentences, the rhythm of her sentences often mirrors the rhythm of anxiety itself. Short bursts of self questioning, followed by longer waves of reflection and calm. This ebb and flow of tone draws readers in emotionally, allowing them to feel the spiral, anxious spiral rather than just read about them. One of the book's most impressive qualities is its emotional precision. Johnson has an uncanny ability to describe complex internal experiences in a way that make them instantly recognizable. For example, when she writes about waiting for a text reply and imagining all possible meanings behind the delay. Behind the delay. The reader doesn't just understand, it's as if they are living that moment alongside her. Empathy without judgment. One of Johnson's greatest strengths as a writer is her refusal to judge. She doesn't tell readers to just stop overthink or to let things go. Instead, she treats instead she treats anxiety with tenderness as something that deserves understanding rather than dismissal. Her compassion for her own working working nature becomes a model for readers. If she can be gentle with herself, maybe they can too. She shows that overthinking is not a sign of weakness or emotional instability. It's a sign of deep care of a mind that notices and feels everything intensely. In doing so, Johnson transforms what society can label as neuroticism into a form of emotional intelligence. She makes the case that caring too much is not the flaw. It's not a flaw. It's a different way of experiencing the world. Themes and symbolism. The question of worth. The recurring question, are you mad at me, symbolizes a deeper insecurity about one's place in relationships. It's not merely a question about someone else's feeling, it's a plea for reassurance that one's existence is still welcome. Johnson captures the ache of wanting to be loved, not for perfection, but for being imperfectly human. The invisible labor of communication in today's digital age. Communication is often fragmented and filtered through screens. Johnson examines how text messages, emojis, and online silences can trigger deep emotional reactions. She dissects the quiet panic that arises when someone doesn't reply, when someone doesn't reply, and the way our minds fill that silence with imagined disappointment. Through this, she highlights how technology magnifies emotional uncertainty. Third, emotional boundaries and self forgiveness. As the book progresses, Johnson begins to untangle the difference between caring for others and taking responsibility for their emotions. This evolution is subtle but powerful. She slowly learns that love doesn't mean self erasure, that one can care deeply without absorbing every ounce of another person's mood. Forgiveness, especially self forgiveness, becomes the emotional climax of the book. By the final chapters, Johnson's voice shifts from apologetic to self assured. She begins to accept that she cannot control how others feel and that her worth does not depend on anyone's momentary opinion. Character and voice. While You Are Mad at Me is not a novel with traditional characters. Johnson herself becomes a character readers deeply connect with. Her openness and vulnerability allow readers to see their own struggles reflected in her narrative. She embodies the role. She embodies the role of every empath, every overthinker, and every people pleaser, making the book both deeply personal and universally relatable. Her voice evolves throughout the text from the uncertain, questioning tone of early chapters to gentler, more self-compassionate, one by the end. This evolution mirrors the emotional journey of healing from fear to understanding, from over apologizing to self acceptance. Why this book matters? Are You Mad at Me arrives at a time when mental health awareness is growing but still stigmatized. While there are countless books about anxiety, very few capture the emotional nuance of everyday overthinking the way Meg Johnson does. She gives a voice to the quietest fears, the ones we laugh off or hide from others. In doing so, she not only offers comfort but also fosters empathy among readers who may not personally struggle in a struggle with anxiety. It's a bridge building book, one that deepens emotional literacy and compassion. Teachers, counselors, and readers who value emotional honesty will find this an invaluable resource. It can spark meaningful conversation about boundaries, emotional safety, and communication in both personal and professional relationships. Conclusion: Mac Johnson's Are You Mad at Me is more than just a reflection on overthinking. It's a declaration of emotional authenticity. It's a love letter to everyone who feels too much, worries too often, and apologizes too quickly. With honesty and compassion, Johnson redefines what it means to be sensitive in an often insensitive world. Her words reminds us that self-awareness is a gift, not a curse. The book doesn't ask readers to stop caring. It simply invites them to care differently, starting with themselves. In the end, Are You Mad at Me leaves readers with a sense of calm, understanding, a soft exhale after years of emotional sense of emotional tension. It teaches us that it's okay to feel deeply, to seek reassurance, and to crave connection. But most importantly, it reminds us that we are still whole and lovable even when we are unsure of ourselves. The next book which we're going to see today in this video is the Surrounded by Idiots by Thomas Erikson. Thomas Erikson, Surrounded by Idiots. The four types of human behavior and how to effectively communicate with each in business is one of those rare self development books that manages to be both both insightful and entertaining. Since its first publication in Sweden in 2014, the book has sold millions of copies worldwide and has been translated into multiple languages. Its popularity lies in the simplicity of its premise that the people who frustrate, confuse, overwhelm us aren't truly idiots. They simply communicate differently. Through humor, storytelling, and accessible psychology, Erikson introduces readers to a four-color model of human behavior. This framework is based on disc personality theory, originally developed by psychologist William Moulton Marston. Erikson adapts this classic theory into a clear and memorable color system that anyone that anyone from CEOs to parents can apply to daily life. One title Surrounded by Idiots sound cynical, the book is actually a guide to empathy, patience, and better communication. Erikson's ultimate goal is to help readers replace frustration with understanding so that relationships, whether at work, at home, or in society, become smoother and more fulfilling. The premise a world of four colors. The foundation of Surrounded by Idiots rests on Erikson's color coded behavioral systems. According to him, human behavior can broadly be categorized into four personality types, each associated with a color, though no one fits neatly into a single box. Recognizing dominant traits helps us adapt to and understand others more effectively. Red, the dominant type, the dominant type, the leaders and decision makers. Reds are assertive, bold, and focused on results. They thrive on challenges, competition, and progress. These are the natural readers, confident and fast paced, always striving for efficiency. However, their drive for results often make them impatient with small. Yellow, the social type, the inspirers and dreamers. Yellow brings energy and enthusiasm to every situation. They are optimistic, talkative, and creative. The life of the party. These people see possibilities where others see problems. However, their high energy can make them appear scattered or unreliable. They can struggle they can struggle with focus and follow through, often starting projects but not finishing them. Green, the stable type, the pacemakers. Greens are calm, patient, they value stability, harmony, and relationships. They make loyal friends and dependable co workers, preferring consistency over chaos. However, their aversion their aversion to conflict can make them passive or resistant to change. Greens may struggle to express disagreement, often internalizing stress to keep the peace. Blue, the analytical type, the thinkers and perfectionists. Blue are detailed orientated, precise and logical. Precise and logical. They value structured data and careful planning. They hate ambiguity and thrive on order and rules. However, their perfectionism can make them conflict can make them passive or resistant to change. Greens may struggle to express disagreement, offer internalizing stress to keep the peace. Writing style and tone. Thomas Erikson's writing style is engaging, humorous, and conversational. Despite dealing with psychology, he avoids jargon and presents ideas in a friendly, story driven way. He shares personal anecdotes and case studies that make readers nod in recognition. A chaotic meeting that goes nowhere. A couple misreading each other's intentions, or a boss who mistakes silence for disobedience. The humor is one of the book's great strengths. It prevents the topic from feeling heavy or overly academic. Erikson doesn't lecture, he invites readers to laugh at themselves. He even admits that he has been surrounded by idiots too, only to realize later that he was often the one misunderstanding others. This humility makes his message more authentic. Readers feel guided by a teacher who has guided feels guided a teacher who has made the same mistakes they have, someone who speaks from experience, not superiority. Conclusion. Thomas Erikson's Thomas Erikson, Surrounded by Idiots, stands out as one of the most practical and accessible book on human behavior. Its four-color framework offers a simple yet powerful way to decode communication and reduce conflict. More than anything, the book is a call to empathy and adaptability. It reminds readers that intelligence isn't always about being right, it's about being able to understand others who see the world differently. Who see the world differently. While it may not satisfy those seeking academic depth, its impact lies in its applicability and universality. Universality. It gives readers tools they can use immediately in workplaces, families, friendships, and beyond. In a world that often feels divided by misunderstanding, surrounded by idiots, delivers a timeless truth. Even if we learn to listen, observe, and respect differences, we will discover that we are not surrounded by idiots at all. Just people speaking different emotional languages. The last book which we're going to see today in this video is The Happy Habits by The Daily Fix to Feel Better Every Day by Dr. Alex George. In Happy Habits, the daily fix to feel better every day. Every day, Dr. Alex George offers a refreshing, compassionate, and scientifically grounded exploration of how small daily habits can dramatically improve mental health and overall well being. The book aims to help readers build a healthier, calmer, and more joyful life, not through grand resolutions or unrealistic lifestyles overhauls, but through practical, evidence based habits that nurture both mind and body. At its heart, ha- Happy Habits is a guide to emotional balance in a fast paced world. It's about learning to be kind to yourself, establishing gentle routines, and understanding that happiness is not a constant state but something we cultivate daily through self awareness, rest, movement, and connection. Purpose and structure of the book. Unlike traditional self help books filled with abstract theories, Happy Habits is structured around seven key areas of wellness, each representing a vital component of happiness and emotional resilience. These include sleep, food, movement, mindset, connection, kindness, and purpose. Each chapter explores one of these themes in depth, combining medical research, neuroscience, and psychology with Dr. George's personal reflections, practical advice. The book structure makes it easy to follow. Readers can focus on one habit area at a time, applying small, manageable changes without feeling overwhelmed. Writing style and tone. Dr. Alex George's writing style is warm, empathetic, and conversational. He writes like a trusted friend rather than a distant expert, blending medical insights with real life stories and gentle humor. His tone is encouraging, never patronizing. He acknowledges how hard it can be to make changes, especially when struggling with mental health, but shows readers that progress is possible through consistency. These chapters are structured clearly with summaries, reflections, and practical habit steps at the end of each section. This layout makes the book not just informative but actionable. Readers can implement new habits immediately and track their improvement over time. Strengths of the book: scientifically backed yet accessible. Dr. Geo translates complex psychology and medical science into simple, relatable language. Empathetic approach. The book radiates kindness. It acknowledges mental struggles without shame or judgment. Practical application. Every chapter includes actionable advice, small realistic steps that anyone can apply. Holistic perspective. It covers both physical and emotional aspects of well being, emphasizing how deeply they are connected, inspiring, and uplifting. The book leaves readers feeling hopeful and empowered to take control of their happiness journey. Key lessons and takeaways. Happiness is built, not found. It's created through small daily actions, not sudden life changes. Self care is not selfish. Kindness and connection heal. Rest is productive. Progress, not perfection. Conclusion. Happy Habits, the daily fix to feel better every day by Dr. Alex George, is an inspiring, compassionate, and scientifically grounded guide to emotional well being. It invites readers to rethink happiness not as a distant goal but as a daily practice of care and awareness. With its warm tone, relatable advice, and medical credibility, the book stands out as one of the most practical modern guides to happiness. It doesn't demand perfection, it simply asks for effort, patience, and kindness. For anyone struggling with stress, low motivation, or emotional burnout, Happy, Hab- Happy Habits offers hope and a clear, gentle roadmap back to joy. So, this is all we have from these three of the books. I hope you guys enjoy the books reviews. If you did, don't forget to press the like button. And if you wanted to buy any one of these best selling books, you can visit our Amazon page and buy the book from there. And if you wanted to suggest any other book for a review, you can tell me in the comment section. I'll be surely make a video on that too. So I'll be back with another videos with another books. Till then, just take care and goodbye.